I actually had the pleasure of walking around and checking out some of your art and everything, and it's beautiful, and this space is very, very inspirational. So I was just wondering if you could walk us through a couple, tell us your inspiration.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. This first piece is called Silhouettes. Um, it's inspired by a lot of native stuff. Every caption here is was just um, while I was creating this piece, everything kind of came off the cuff and came to me. And it took many turns. This piece took a lot of different turns before it ended up like this. So this particular piece is an inspiration from working on Melrose in Hollywood with the different artists in LA that do building paintings and silhouette paintings. While I was on Melrose, I worked at a newsstand on Melrose and Martel. I was fortunate enough to meet artists like Andy Warhol while he was still alive, and different actors and musicians. I met Madonna on Melrose and Martel, and had the pleasure of being in her video called Open Your Heart. I worked with Jean-Baptiste Mondino, the director, and you might want to check that out. That's an MTV video. It's called Open Your Heart with Madonna. That was a magic moment, meeting her. And of course, meeting Andy Warhol also was very inspirational to me.
The ducks are trying to steal your thunder.
Yeah, that's the beautiful geese here in Finland.
Well, no, you've had a very interesting past. I know you had mentioned that actually all of your art is done in a time span of 90 days.
Yes, I got clean and sober 10 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And everything here poured out of me in 90 days. And I've always been an artist, but I never really the painting side of me at the age of 49 years old has blossomed out of nowhere from being clean and sober and praying. I pray with the Cherokee Indians. So a very spiritual awakening has led me to all the art you're going to see here today. And I give all the thanks to Grandfather and the native way. Thank you.
Well, was there one particular piece that started everything, or?
Well, this piece here actually started everything. This Silhouettes piece was my first canvas. My first big canvas was this silhouette piece. Mm-hmm. And the next piece after that is the painting I call Ants. And it speaks for itself, but my inspiration for this...
I was going to say, why would you think it was ants? But
Well, the inspiration for this was kind of a population explosion that we deal with every day in life.
How long did it actually take you to draw or paint these ants?
This painting took me 14 hours, and I paint with acrylic. And believe it or not, I'm the type of artist that when I start something, I'm kind of like a mad scientist, and I paint until it's done. So I painted 14 hours straight through on this ant painting, and there's almost over 800 ants on that painting. Wow. I didn't count them, but there's a lot of ants. And they kind of speak for themselves. As you can see, some people see the ants coming off of the canvas. I painted this particular piece, the ants coming onto the canvas towards the center. But what's cool about this piece is everyone sees something different on it.
I think that would be very neat if, do you remember those books back in the day where you could stare at it and then you would see another picture? Yeah. Wouldn't that be weird if you inadvertently made an ant stare back at you?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's amazing when people look at this and they go, wow, Todis, I see all kinds of different, I seen somebody told me they seen a guitar in the center. Oh, and okay. the ants create their own art here. So I painted the first ant in the center and started surrounding that ant, and everything else followed. I actually painted over half of this canvas after I painted these ants. Half of it I whited out and then manipulated the ants, and the piece came out. I'm very happy with that piece.
Now, I realize that every painting is like one of your children and you're proud of them equally, but is there one that stands out the most to you?
I'd have to say the Burning Man. This piece, again, every piece I paint, throughout the whole piece, I feel like I'm going to throw it out. And it's kind of weird that way. I don't know what it is, but um, I have confidence in my painting, but while I'm painting, I kind of lose grip with reality sometimes. And this piece didn't evolve until it didn't become the Burning Man until I painted the background on it. And it's inspired by all the trials and tribulations and chaos I went through as an addict, and using and drinking, and most of my life was wasted, and my talent was wasted through that type of turbulence. So this Burning Man is me coming out of the fire unscathed, with a lot of scars, but that's the Burning Man there. And the piece is it's a whole new concept in stained glass. The stained glass is incorporated with the painting. I used glue for the stained glass and glue for the joints, and then it's detailed with silver paint to make it look like solder.
And it's interesting how, even though he's still coming out all these beautiful colors, it somehow all makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Some people see him sitting, some people see him standing. That's pretty amazing. I like that piece.
I do love all of your pieces, but I had mentioned to you earlier that this one in particular stands out to me, and it says it's you and me.
Yes, this piece is called You and Me. I have a lot of, I admire a lot of different artists. One is Da Vinci. This painting was inspired by Da Vinci's painting of God's hands coming down and touching mankind. The difference between that Da Vinci's piece and this piece I call You and Me is you see the hands are coming up from the bottom. So they're two human beings meeting each other in the middle. And I actually painted this piece for my fiancée, Karen. This piece is dedicated to her. And we've been through a lot together in the 12 years we've known each other. And this piece it won't be for sale. It is dedicated to the woman I love.
That is great, and she is the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah, she's also my assistant.
Awesome. Well, it's great that you get to work with like your fiance and do all that stuff. So it's not work; it's your passion.
Yeah,
and you get paid for it.
You're right.
Awesome.
You're right.
Well, before we continue other parts of the interview, are there any other particular pieces or anything else you want to relay about your work out here?
Again, this piece here, Help. It's a native arts piece, and as you can see, it speaks for itself. It's one of my abstracts, and I like to do a lot of different abstracts with acrylic. I paint in front of a fan so that everything is frozen in time. Everything is blended, but I have the fan there so that everything heals right away. So I blend stuff as it's wet, and then it's frozen in time. So unlike art, unlike oil painting, nothing's gone over. Everything is frozen in time for the moment. So everything reflects what I'm feeling at the time, and this is a perfect example of that. I call it Help. It's a native piece. So I mean, whatever you see in it. This piece here speaks for itself. I call it Tiger Woods.
Oh, okay.
It's my Tiger Woods piece. I'm inspired by Tiger Woods. He made major breakthroughs in the art, being a man of color, breaking through at the sport of golf. As you can see, there's a lot of turbulence and anger there also.
Yeah.
but it's one of my pro shop pieces, and I'm hoping to see that in pro shops all over the world someday.
Very cool. It has a very 1980s inspiration to it, I believe, with all the colors. Well, that's just what I see. Everybody else sees something different, I'm sure. Okay, now there was one particular piece that you also wanted to bring to light. Explain this to us.
If everybody remembers, Andy Warhol painted the commemorative tomato soup can, and that was before Pry-Off Tops. So this particular piece is my tribute to Andy Warhol, and the funny thing about it is they're putting out a commemorative tomato soup can, Campbell's is, next month for the tomato soup can that he painted. This piece I put out 3 months before that even happened, and it's the cream of mushroom soup with the new 20th century pop-off, pry-off top.
Yeah.
So this is my commemorative tribute to Andy Warhol, who's a big influence in my life. Other influences are Van Gogh, Picasso, Da Vinci, as I was saying, and Andy Warhol, and a few other artists that Madonna worked with on her videos, and that she's on tour with, that she features in her videos. So I just wanted to talk about that piece for a while.
Very cool. It was awesome seeing all of this.
I want to thank PFF Productions, and I want to thank you for interviewing me today, and just tell everybody that my website is under construction, so keep your eyes open for Todis art up and coming to the entire world, hopefully. And like I said, my email address, it'll be on the video here. Drop a line and let me know your input on my artwork. We're anxious to hear from everyone.